Hi everyone. Hi, good evening. Okay, guys, welcome to this Facebook live show. And yes, we are running it live on YouTube as well, guys. So I think I can see some of you coming on board. We have like more than 40 of you here already. And first thing we want to do, guys, if you can see and you can hear me loud and clear, just type a 1 in the chat. Just type a 1 in the chat. Let me know. There should be a chat at the bottom or on the right or something like that. Just type a 1 in the chat, guys, so that I know that this is working and you guys can see and you can hear me. Type 1 in the chat. For those of you who are here early, thank you so much for being here. All right, welcome to this Facebook live show. Later I'll share with you guys what I'll be covering. But just do me a favor, type 1 in the chat so that I can acknowledge all of you, your presence here. Okay, good. I think I can see your comments. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you here. Richard, Catherine, Iris. Hi, Serene. Hi, Xiao Awesome. Hi, Xiang Yao. Okay, Bernard. Hi, Lynette, Alice. Okay, so a lot of you, some of you are my clients as well. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Kaibin. Good to see you here. VJ. Awesome. Tommy. Hi, Thomas. Okay, good. So it seems like this is working. Hi, Roger. Good to see you here as well. Hi, Alfred. Okay, thank you. All right, so guys, welcome to this Facebook live show called Ask Me Any Stock. So for those of you who are new, you have never met me before, my name is Choy, top tier reminder trader in Phillips Securities. And in today's topic, we'll be covering basically on the stocks that you want a quick opinion on, right? So that's the title of the show called Ask Me Any Stocks, right, in the Singapore market. So don't ask the stocks first, because later I'll show you guys where to ask, all right? But essentially what we're doing is that we'll do a quick market outlook. We'll maybe just cover the STI, some of the factors that are affecting the market. And after that, we'll go through the stocks that you guys are asking about. We'll do a live poll, or do a live poll so that we can see which are the more popular stocks. And make sure you stay all the way to the end as well. Make sure you stay all the way to the end. Why? Because if you stay all the way to the end, that is where after covering the stocks that you want an opinion, that's where I will share, all right, one stock that I like at the end. Does that sound fair? Sounds fair. Type yes in the chat if that sounds fair, guys. Type yes in the chat. For those of you who have just joined us, just type yes in the chat if you're still following me before we move on, all right? Okay, and guys, I would really appreciate, I think I see a lot of, new people over here. Thank you so much. And I would really appreciate, guys, if you can just help me to like, all right, hit the heart shape button, hit the like and share button, all right? That would be really helpful. I'm not too sure whether you guys can see the heart shape here, but help me to like and share, guys, so that we can reach out to more people, all right? And we can do a poll that is more, I would say more people can participate in the poll as well, all right? And we can get, in terms of the results of the poll, it will be better, all right? So like and share, and of course, if you share, thank you so much. I think I see a lot of hearts and likes right over here. Awesome. Okay, thank you guys. All right, so yes. Hi, Philip. Hi, David, Doris. Yes, awesome. Okay, thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. So there'll be a couple of things to cover by the end of this video, all right, by the end of this Facebook Live, but before I go into that, I take this opportunity to thank all of you for being here today, right? So I'll do everything in my power to make sure it's well worth your time, right? So let me just go ahead right now and just share with you a quick disclaimer, right? So the standard disclaimer that we have to share, whatever that's shared in today's Facebook Live or even YouTube Live, is just for education purpose only. So please do your own due diligence, right? The standard disclaimer that we share. All right. Okay, so let's go on to talk about the market. How many of you want me to cover the STI? Just a quick market outlook of what has happened over the past weeks. Just type STI. Type STI in the chat below, guys, if you want me to just talk about a bit about the STI before we dive into the stocks that you guys want a quick opinion on. Type STI in the chat. All right. Okay, good to see you here. Running deal. Hi. STI, Roger, STI, Sarah, STI. Okay, very good. Awesome. So for those of you who are just joining us right now, welcome to this Facebook live show, also live on YouTube, called Ask Me Any Stock. So right now, we're just doing a quick coverage of the STI, the Straits Times Index. What has happened over the past few weeks? Where are we right now? Are we going up or down? We'll talk about it in a bit. Then after that, we will go on to cover the stocks that you want a quick opinion on. We'll do a quick poll and then stay all the way to the end. And that's where I will share with you one stock that I like. That sounds good. All right. So let's talk about the STI right now. Since a lot of people are talking about STI, Edwin, STI, Doris, STI, ND, STI are awesome. Okay, let's go. All right. So this is the STI right now. All right, trading about 3,297. All right. So before I talk about it, guys, maybe just share with me. All right. How many of you think that STI is it more up down or sideways? Just let me know. Just type in the chat, guys. What are your thoughts just by looking at the chart right now for STI? Is it like more up, down, or sideways? Type in the chat so you kind of have a view of what you guys are thinking. All right, let me know. Type in the chat. All right. Okay, thank you guys. Hit the like and share, guys. I would really appreciate, guys, if you can hit the like and share as well. That would really help out the channel, right? And that would be, and if you share the video as well, this Facebook live video will be on your profile so that you can watch the video replay in case you miss any part. So make sure you hit the share button as well. All right. Okay, let's take a look at the answer. So we are saying that Roger, you're saying it's up. Awesome. And Ellen, up. Serene, you're saying it's a bit sideways. Kaibing, sideways. Raymond, sideways. Sideways. Roger, up. Alfred, sideways. Sarah, you're saying sideways. Okay, let's go into explore. So a bit more up and sideways. Nobody actually said down, right? Surprisingly, nobody actually said down. Oh, it's up or sideways. Okay, so let me just go ahead to explain to you. Any of you can tell me, right, what happened in like March, early of March. Look at this, right? I mean, kind of like sold off quite badly, all right, from here, about 3,003, and we sold all the way down to about 3,080, right? What was the reason for the sell down? Just about 2-3 weeks back. Anybody can tell me what is the main reason why like the STI sold off quite badly, more than like 5, 6, 7%? What happened? What happened to markets? Banks run. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks. Running deal. Okay. Good. So I think all of you would know that in the US, it's about 2 weeks back, we had this banking crisis, financial turmoil. All right, and we had like Silicon Valley Bank, and then after that, a few days later, we had this Signature Bank. I think some of you are saying US bank collapse. Correct. Thanks, Raymond. VJ Bank run. All right, a bank crisis as well. So I think some of you definitely would know about this. And the US banks all started to sell off, right? Even Citigroup, Bank of America, JP Morgan, some of the top banks in the US started to sell off. And even in the Singapore market, the banks, our DBS, our UOB, also started to sell off. Why? Because there was like fears that this entire contagion will get out of control. All right, but you can see that over the past few weeks, we started to see quite a firm rebound, right? So you see quite a firm rebound because governments around the world are coming out to kind of like, guarantee deposits. And of course, in the Switzerland, we had UBS taking over Credit Suisse. And, governments are kind of like stepping up to make sure that it wouldn't get as bad as what it had, right, in 2007, right, during the Lehman Brothers collapse and the global financial crisis. So you can see that this flame, right, that has sparked, and, governments are coming out to make sure that it doesn't spark into a fire, right? And people are all, even in the Singapore market as well, we have MAS coming out and saying that, well, Singapore banks are all well capitalized, we are all safe, all right? And this is what is happening. And we started to see a good rebound in the market. So I did cover the banks as well previously, all right? I did mention that it could actually be a good opportunity because, right, what happens is that, why did the banks suffer? Because I think all of you know that due to inflationary pressures and all that, all right, many of these banks like, Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, which are more exposed to the tech sector, and many of those tech companies are not doing well. They started to withdraw their deposits and all that. And that's where, when news gets out, they're not able to raise capital, people started to go to the bank and start withdrawing money, kind of like leading to what we call a bank run. And that is where, when news are out like that, it's not good, and governments have to step up and kind of assure people, right, that the banks are safe. All right, so that's exactly what happened about 3 weeks back with this bank run. But you can see that we started to stage quite a good rebound, all right, above this level. So let's talk about the 3,200. So I mentioned that this 3,200 was a pretty good support level, whereby, for the STI, we broke down, not so good, a little bit of short-term weakness. But as it approached, right, as it approached this support level, let me just draw it for you right here. You can see that since 2021, about 2 years, right, about 2 years, we approached this level right over here, 3,000 to 3,050, or maybe 3,000 to 3,001, right over here. Look at this, right? We have rebounded from this level a couple of times. 1, 2, 3. We neared it, we rebounded, all right? And I mentioned that if we do hit to these levels again, anything near 3,000 to even 3,050 or 3,001, that is where potentially some bargain hunting can come back again, right? So yes, it did, it didn't even go down that much. I think in the next few days started to come back, all right? Buyers came back and started to see a rebound, and we broke back above that 3,200. So where are we right now? We are about 3,200. 300. So my take for it would be that I would say that the mid to long term. So I covered the banks as well in Facebook Live about a few weeks back, and I mentioned that the trend, all right, the trend for the market, for the Straits Times Index for the Singapore market is still a bit of sideways for now in the mid to long term. Why do I say that? Just want to focus on this red and the blue line. So the red line is what we call the 100 days moving average. The blue line is the 200 days moving average. So you can see that this red and blue line, I mean, since like last year, in fact, when the tech sector sold off last year, the US market, the Dow Jones and everything started to sell off, Singapore market was holding quite well, right? Quite well. In fact, we didn't really sell off much, right? We hit down to near 3,000 and we saw bargain hunters coming back, right? So it was holding quite well and we were just moving sideways since last year. In fact, since 2021, look at this. The red and blue line, they are pretty much moving sideways. Look at this, crossing up, crossing down. And this is where the red and blue line is. You can see both of them are just a little bit sideways, a little bit up, but the mid to long-term trend is still sideways for now. But what about the short-term trend, right? Short-term trend would be what we look at would be the 20 days moving average, right? So look at this right here. As I say, when we broke back above the 3,200 prices, or the index actually went back above that 20 days moving average, the green line. Look at this, the green line right over here. When we broke down the green line started to point down, down, down. And just about 2 weeks back, we flattened out, and now you can see we are pointing up. So right now, the short term actually looks quite good, right? We are actually seeing a bit of strength in the short term, especially if we can break above that 3,300. So 3,300 would be key, right? Look at this level, guys. You can see that this was the very firm support, resistance. You can see it came down, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? A couple of times we touched 3,003 and we just couldn't get above. But right now, we actually attempted to break above 3,003. So I think in the next few days or maybe next week, if you can stay above that 3,300 level, great, all right? That's where potentially the market might see a little bit more strength in the short term, all the way maybe to about 3,004 to about 3,450, right? 3,450, pretty much back to where we were in 2022, right? Just last year, you can see a couple of touches here, and we sold off. Look at this right here. We near 3,004, right? So anything near 3,004 to 3,450, that's where some selling can actually come back again, right? That's where some selling can come back, right? Okay, so that is the STI. So I think some of you are saying it's a bit of up and sideways. You are correct, right? So a bit more sideways in the short term, but a bit more sideways in the long term, right? But in the short term, it looks quite positive above that 3,300. And if we stay above, potentially we might see a bit more upside. All right. Okay. How many of you are still following me? Type yes in the chat. All right. Type yes in the chat. I think we have like more than 100 of you on board. For those of you who have just joined us, welcome, right? Welcome to this Facebook Live show called Ask Me Any Stock. Just hit the like and share button, guys. That would be really helpful. Hit the like and share button if you're still following me. And for those of you who just join us, welcome to this Facebook Live show called Ask Me Any Stock. And we pretty much just covered a quick take on the STI, some of the factors that have affected the market. And we are going to talk about the stocks that you want a quick opinion on. Okay, so hi, Andy. Just want to acknowledge all of you for being here. Hi, Licha, Jolene. Hi, Wee Hong, Penny. Awesome. Okay, very good. So now let's move on to the exciting part that all of you guys want, all right, which is pretty much the title of this show. All right, and what is the title of this show? Ask Me Any Stock. So let me just go ahead to share with you this link whereby you can ask me any stock. So I'll just place the link in the chat, all right? But let me just go to grab the link right here and go to www.slido.com. The code is AMAS15, right? So let me just share this link and place it in the chat for every one of you, all right? So I'll just place the link in the chat, guys. If this link is working, all right, if this link is working, just type a yes in the chat if this link is working. And then just click on the link, or you can simply go to slido.com, which is pretty much the software we are using, whereby you can take part in this live poll. All right. So what are three Singapore stocks that, okay, guys, I think this is working. What are three Singapore stocks that you want covered today? Just three, guys, we can track. So just three stocks, right? One stock, one line, submit. That's it, right? One stock, one line, submit, guys. And I can see that you guys are slowly coming in. Really well done, guys. So if this is working, guys, I see a yes as well. Thanks, Bunsan. Okay, so this is working. So just a few minutes, guys. Let me know what are the top Singapore stocks you want a quick opinion. So you can see this is running right now. This is live, guys. So you can see some of the answers that your peers are kind of like typing. If you feel that that's the stock you like as well, you can go ahead and type the answer and we can participate in this poll. All right. So just a few minutes. All right, so we have like more than 30 of you on board, all right, based on this number here, it's slowly increasing 40, all right, and I think you guys are participating in this live poll. So for those of you who have just joined us, welcome to this Facebook live show called Ask Me Any Stocks. And right now, guys, we are pretty much taking part in a live poll. Go ahead to www.slido.com or you can simply click on the link that I just shared below, right? Let me just place the link in the chat below. I think Esther, all right, you're saying Food Empire. Thank you, but help me, do me a favor, Esther, just click on the link, type it in the poll so that this stock will be in the poll and receive the popular one. All right, I think some of you are typing the stocks in the chat, so make sure you click on the link and take part in this poll. So I think this is working, guys. Let me know once you are done. Just type done in the chat or type done in the chat. So we're looking at the Singapore market, guys. So once this is done, let me know, right? Once you have key in your 3 stocks. So 1%, 3 stocks, guys. Don't put like 5 or 10, right? Just 3 stocks, 1 line, 1 stocks, submit it, right? So I think we have a few winners right here. I think we have like DBS is pretty popular, right? DBS, we have, okay, let me just go to just a few more minutes, guys, a few more minutes. We have like more than 50 of you taking part in this live poll. So just a quick one. All right, a few more minutes before we stop the poll. Let me know what are the stocks, the Singapore stocks that you want a quick opinion on before we dive right into it. All right. And by the way, guys, as I mentioned, right, make sure you stay all the way to the end. All right, because after going through the top stocks, I will also share 1 stocks that I like that you can also put in your watch list for more upside. All right, okay, good. So type done in the chat, guys. Type done in the chat. I want to see like at least more than 20 of you typing down so that I know that this is working and you guys are ready to move on. But I can see that right now there are still like 9 participants typing. Okay, Susila, done. Right, so I believe you have typed in the 3 stocks in the poll. Catherine, done. Aloysius, done. Awesome. Okay, Kumbre, done. Lina, awesome. Done. Okay, so I think some of you are still typing, guys. 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. So we have a few winners. If we have more time, guys, I'll try to cover the stocks. But I think based on what we have so far, it seems like we have a few quite popular. All right, ISDN, OCBC. Well, the bank seems to be quite popular. Keppel Corp, right? Keppel Corp. We have a Food Empire, pretty popular as well. Done. Patrick, done. Andy, done. Okay, type done in chat if you're done. All right, so 10 more seconds, guys. 10 more seconds to take part in the poll. Go click on the link, right? Click on the link, and that is where you can take part in the poll, right? Okay, 5, 4, 3. Okay, so we have like more than 60 of you taking part in the poll. So I believe this kind of like gives a representation of what are more popular stocks. So let me just stop the poll, right? Okay, let me just go ahead to write down the popular stocks, right? So I think the first one would be right here called Wilmar, right? It seems like Wilmar is quite popular. Wilmar, number 1, we have like more than 30 over votes. We have DBS, right? DBS, we have a SETS as well. SETS. Okay, we have SamuderaShipping. Okay, so I've just chosen 4 first, guys. First one is Wilmar. Number 2, DBS. Number 3, SETS. Number 4, SamuderaShipping. I believe that's SamuderaShipping. All right. And let's take a look again. We have OCBC. Well, the banks are pretty popular. We try to cover OCBC as well. Okay, Alfred, done. Kiri, done. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so that is number 5, OCBC. Number 6, we have ISDN. Well, one of the tech stocks as well, ISDN. And Keppel Corp, all right, Keppel Corp, we have like more than 15 votes for Keppel Corp. Let me just see, guys. So right now, I've chosen 7 stocks: Wilmar, DBS, SETS, SamuderaShipping, OCBC, ISDN, Keppel Corp. Let me see, guys. And finally, what we have? Okay, I think the next one would be like Sembcorp Marine, all right? Sembcorp Marine, guys. Okay, let me just pause the poll right now. All right, pause the poll right now. And okay, so pretty much we have stopped the poll. If we have more time later, all right, that's where we will go ahead to cover a bit more stocks. But let me just go ahead to share with you what are the stocks that are popular that you guys are asking about, right? The first one will be Wilmar. Number 2, DBS, SETS, SamuderaShipping. Number 4, number 5, OCBC. Number 6, ISDN. Number 7, Keppel Corp. Number 8, Sembcorp Marine. All right. Let me know, guys. Type yes in the chat if those are the stocks. If those are stocks that you are actually asking about, and any of them you have like one insight, great. Just type yes in the chat. I believe that would be the most popular stocks that you have. Type yes in the chat. Hit the like and share button, guys. Hit the like and share button. All right, do me a favor, hit the like and share button so that we can reach out to more people, all right, before we dive into this, right? Awesome. So I see a lot of hearts. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So I see a lot of heart share. Thanks for all the love, right? So, okay, let's move on to the first stock, right? The first stock will be none other than Wilmar, right? Wilmar right here. So let's take a look at this Wilmar, all right? And we are here at Wilmar trading at about 4.15. So what do you guys think about Wilmar? Is it like positive, a bit more up, down, or sideways? Just a quick one. Wilmar, before I share my thoughts on Wilmar. Let me know. So this is Wilmar, about 4.15, like 4.15 we are trading at right now. And what do you guys think? Is it like starting to move up, sideways? All right. So I think Lynette, you're saying it's up, Kenny, a bit of sideways. So let me just go ahead to share with you what has happened. All right. And I would say that right now for Wilmar, all right, there are indeed some signs of strength. All right. There are indeed some signs of strength, but we need more confirmation. What do I mean by that? Let me share with you this very key level that you want to watch out for. So, since last year, right, Wilmar was actually holding above this really strong support level. You can see right here, we were holding quite well above this level. And you can see right here, we broke down. And that level will be none other than the $4.30, right? $4.30. And when we broke the 430, right? Let me just go to draw another line right here. All right, we broke the 430. We actually traded down towards the $4, right? The $4 psychological level. All right. And you can see that then, right, in 2022, last year, April, May, it was pretty much in a downtrend. We broke 430, we consolidated, and we actually broke the $4 and we shot all the way down before staging a rebound. Quite a strong recovery. You can see something like a V-shaped recovery, right? But as we recovered, you can see that we retested the $4 psychological level. All right, so that's a good thing. We tested the $4 psychological level and we started to consolidate right here from $4 to about $4.30. And in fact, right now we are at about $4.15, right? $4.15, which is in the middle of $4 to $4.30. Does it make sense, guys? Are you guys following so far? All right, so that is the range right now. We are pretty much back here. Let me just draw it for you right now in case you are not very clear. All right, you can see that that is the range we have seen previously in 2021. All right, you can see we consolidated, we broke up, started to push up. We came back to this consolidation again, all right, last year in April to September 2022. And we broke down, we went down, and now we are back. Can you see how I'm shifting these guys from here to here and to here? And now we are back to this same consolidation again, all right? So that is now the range for Wilmar, right? $4 to $4.30, right? So why do I think that it is looking quite good, right? As long as this $4 support level were to hold. So let me just go to remove this right now. You can see that, as I say, this is the consolidation, as I say, from here to here to here. That is the sideways consolidation, right? But why do I say that? There are some signs of the trend slowly starting to turn up. Well, two reasons, right? First reason is that as we went down, right, to that 350 level, so this was that key 350 level, whereby we bottom out, we touch it, rebounded, right? And the key here is that we actually consolidated at a higher level. So we actually, we could actually just touch 350 and went to like 380 and consolidate and went back down to 350, like what we see over here. We might and it might break down and hit lower. That's what could potentially have happened. We break 350, great. It will go to like $3 or $3.20, right? But we didn't do that, right? We didn't do that. We actually consolidated, right? We rebounded and we consolidated higher. So that's a sign of strength. That's a sign of buyers coming back, right, to push it back up to that previous consolidation phase. At best it can be higher, but at least it's back to the same level that we have seen last year. Are you guys following so far? All right. So that is that same consolidation. So that's number one. Right? We are back to the same consolidation, and we did not actually go lower or consolidate or break lower. We went back to the same phase. All right. So that's number one. Number two, based on the moving averages, you can see that finally, all right, these moving averages in terms of the red and the blue line. So this is the 100 days moving average red line has kind of like crossed back above the blue line, all right? So that's a sign of strength in the mid to long term. And of course, you can see that it kind of coincides with where that $4 support level is, all right? So that is pretty much where it is a psychological support level where the longer term moving averages are. All right, so I think if we near that $4 again, that's a good thing. That's potentially where some bargain hunting can come back. So upside could be, I think that is the range, as I mentioned, $4 to $4.30. All right, $4.30 is key, guys. I want to show you guys. Look at this, right? We touched, we came down, we neared it, we came down. In fact, I think last week we neared it and we came down. So $4.30 is still a very, very firm resistance level. We want to get above that level. If we can break the $4.30, all right, I think that would be great. All right, that is where upside can be revised all the way up to maybe around that 460, 470. Look at this right here. That is pretty much the next upside resistance in terms of the upside targets. But we need more confirmation, right? Normally what we want to see is that we want to see prices kind of like, breaking the resistance level. We stay above it. You don't come back down, but you stay above it, hang above over the past few days, and volume is strong as well. Then that's where more confirmation of this revolves. And if that happens, all right, if we do break the 430, I would say that these moving averages will all start to turn up firmly. And that is where we would have a better chance of the uptrend slowly firming up as well. All right, does it make sense? All right, so that is for Wilmar, right? Wilmar. So still okay, all right, still okay as long as you stay above 4 to 430. As I mentioned, the range is still okay, but we still need to get past the 430, right? $4.30. So that would be Wilmar. And I think some of you may be able to spot as well. Any of you can share with me what is that pattern that you can see in Wilmar? In terms of the chart pattern, I think some of you might be experts here. What is that chart pattern that you can see in Wilmar right now in terms of the chart pattern? Any of you can share me what is the pattern that you can see in Wilmar, right? Something about head and what? Anybody can share me? Let me know in chat, right? What is that pattern in case you guys can spot? What is that pattern, right? For those of you experts here, what are the patterns that you can see? Okay, Kenny, great. You're saying inverted head and shoulder, running inverse head and shoulder. Crystal, head and shoulder, awesome. So yes, a head and shoulder would be something whereby it's more up to down, all right? But you can see this is something like an inverse head and shoulder, all right? Great. HNS, head and shoulder, awesome, right? So where is the head? Let me just show it to you right here. You can see that this is what we call the head because that is like the lowest point. So this is an inverse head and shoulder. Okay, let me just a bit of a theory, guys. Let me just explain to you what I mean by that. But essentially, an inverse head and shoulder will be something like this, right? And if you have like a left shoulder, all right, trade lower, and pop, this is what we see, right? So this could be like a bit of a resistance level right over here, right? So this would be something like an inverse head and shoulder. So this would be what we call the head, all right? This would be what we call the head. This would be the left shoulder, and this would be the right shoulder. Does it make sense? All right, and we want to get a confirmation, right? We want to get a confirmation only if we were to break this level. And in this case, right, for Wilmar, that would be the $4.30, right? Only if we break the 430, then this inverse head and shoulder pattern would have played out. We have got the confirmation, and that's where the reversal can likely continue. All right, does it make sense? So that is what we call inverse head and shoulder. And you can see for Wilmar, all right, you can see a little bit of this, right? You can see a little bit of this, and this is the head, the left shoulder, and the right shoulder right over here. All right, but as I say, we want to get more confirmation after breaking the 430. Okay, so that's the first stock, Wilmar, right? How many of you learned something? All right, how many of you learned something? Just type a two in the chat. Let me know you learned something so far. You're following me so far. Type 2 in the chat if you found that useful, and that's only stock number 1. Type 2 in the chat if you want to move on to stock number 2. Stock number 2, right? Let me just drink some water. Type 2 in the chat. All right, awesome. Hi, Jason. So I see quite a few new names over here. Lena, awesome. Catherine, hi. 222. Patrick, Cecilia. All right, okay. Very good. So let's move on to stock number 2, which we will call DBS, right? DBS right over here. So I did a video, right, about 2-3 weeks back when the banks started to sell off, right, in the US. Of course, the Singapore market, the banks got affected as well. All right, and we have so far seen a bit of a rebound, right? So let me just go to share with you one of my thoughts right now. All right, and there we go for DBS. So in the video that I did about 3 weeks back, I mentioned that this for DBS, this level would be key, right? This level is none other than the $32, right? Why 32? You can see 32 was pretty much a resistance level right over here last year. So let me just put it in black, and it became the support level a couple of times. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, just about 3 weeks back, we touched there, and we saw a rebound from it. So I mentioned near 32, that's where some bargain hunting can come back again, and we might potentially, I think there were some upside targets that were drawn, right, from 32 all the way to maybe like 33 first, after 33, then back to that $34.50. So I think right now it's a good thing because you can see that we did stage quite a good rebound, and we actually rebounded from 32 to 33, and we are staying above that 33 level. So I would say right now the range should be a little bit tighter, all right, in terms of the upwards direction from about 33 all the way to 34.50, right? So 34.50 would be the near-term resistance. You can see it was like where we were supported here. You can see when we broke down, we sold all the way down, and now that is pretty much the range, right? So 33 to 34 to 34.50. I think that is pretty much the range. And you can see that over the past few weeks, right? In fact, over the past 1-2 weeks, buyers are starting to come back out as we approach 33. Look at this right here. So a good bullish candle. We have a red bar coming out. We saw a little doji over here right at the 33, which can imply or show or indicate a little bit of a reversal or some, kind of a tug of war between buyers and sellers. So if we see it near a support level, that could be a good thing. And in fact, yeah, after we saw this, we saw a bit of a rebound up a little bit, but it's back to that sideways movement, right? So I think the range is quite wide from 33 to maybe 34, 34.50. That is the upside all the way first, right? And of course, if we do get past that 34.50, great. That is where upside targets can be revised, and we can potentially hit back towards the high we've seen in the beginning of the year from like 36.50 all the way to that 37, right? So that is the high after 34.50. So let me just shift it back now here, all right? And that would be for DBS. So I mean, it could be a really good opportunity video that, all right, and that okay, I'm not too connection issues, but I'm not too sure if you're still following me. Hey guys, welcome. If you can see and not guys can see me and this is working, let me know because I think there were some connection issues. It's working, guys. Just type yes. I think we still have like more than 200 of you on board, but I'm not too sure whether it lost connection now. Let me know, guys. Okay. Alan, you're saying that it's a little bit lagging, breaking a little. Connection loss. Oh my god. Sorry, my apologies. I'm not too sure why. I hope that you guys can see and lots of broken sound. Okay, I think it is hopefully working right now. No sound. Oh man. We are saying it's okay. Facebook over people quality drop a lot. Okay, working. Yes, working. Hopefully it's working, guys. I'm not too sure. For a moment, it was like this black screen. All right, and my team told me that there was a little bit of lag. So working now, working. I hope this is working, guys. If this is working, guys, just do me a favor. Just type type two in the chat. If hopefully, okay. Thank you. Okay, good. It seems like this is working now. Working better. Awesome. Okay, for a moment, I just thought what happened. Okay, so that's the way it goes, right? I mean, that's how connection and internet and server, whatever stuff happens. So, well, doesn't matter. We just make the best out of it. Glad that a lot of you are working to Hi everyone, I'm not too sure. It seems like this is just breaking up, all right? And I'm just doing my best, but I'm not too sure whether this is working again. But for those of you who are still here, thank you so much for still being here. I think some of you have dropped off, and I really hope that we are not cut off again, all right? If it is really cutting off again, then my sincere apologies, all right? We'll probably run this another time when, the connection is better. But if you're still here, okay, working, thank you. I really hope that it will still be working, all right? Okay. Well, I mean, sometimes I really don't know how all this stuff works, but I'm just thankful that some of you managed to be still connected to this. All right, working now. Awesome. Thank you, Kurim. Awesome. Okay, I just hope that it works. All right. So if you're still with me, all right, we'll make use of the best that we can for this session. All right, and it's still working. Great. Let's move on to the third stock. So we've covered, guys, Wilmar and DBS. Just a very quick one. All right. Let's go to cover as quickly as possible so that we don't miss anything, right? We don't miss anything, right? Okay, let's move on to SATS services, right? SATS services, I'll just go on as quickly as possible. Hopefully it doesn't cut off anymore, right? Okay, so this is SATS services, right? And we have been, supported since 2021 at this level, right? This level will be the $3.60. Look at these guys. 360 was a really strong support, and we just broke down this support and went all the way to $2.40. All right. Anyone can tell me what happened to SATS since last year, October, November? If you guys are still here, all right, I think we have still more than 100 of you still here. All right. Let me know, guys, what happened to SATS? Why did we kind of broke down? Why did we break down quite badly somewhere in October for SATS? Any of you can share with me what happened to SATS? Okay, thank you. Loud and clear. Awesome. Doris, loud and clear. Fine now. Thank you for still being here, Jimmy. Working. No worries. Okay, thank you. Better now. Awesome. Glad that this is working. Okay, so this is SATS, right? And what happened for SATS? I think some of you are saying acquisition, correct? Rumors of cash call, right? And something like rights issue, correct? For those of you who may be holding the shares of SATS, right? They're doing a rights issue to raise funds. And the reason was, I think some of you may know, all right, that I think you want to acquire this company or this big firm, all right, something doing the same industry as SATS, WFS, Worldwide Flight Services or something, all right, and they need to raise capital to purchase or to make the acquisition. And when you're raising capital, you do what we call a rights issue or to raise capital, and that's a little bit not so positive in the stock market because if you have cash to buy, then just go ahead to buy. But if you're raising capital, you'll dilute existing shareholders' shares, all right, and that's where people took it negatively, and we broke down this support and we sold all the way back down, right? But you can see that it could be a good opportunity now because since 3 years ago, right? Since 3 years ago, we were actually holding at this support level, and this would be the $2.40 level. $2.40. You can see that when we sold off, just nice, we hit it to 240 in November, rebounded up, traded up, and then we sold back down and rebounded up again. So these $2.40 have been tested about 4 to 5 times already over the past 3 years, right? So that is a good thing. It shows that this support has been holding, all right? And while we are finding support at this level, you can see that there is some kind of what we call a consolidation. Same thing, right? So what we are seeing 3 years back is exactly what is happening right now. So this is a consolidation in 2020, February. Now we ship it right here, and this is what we are seeing again. Does it make sense, right? So that is the consolidation phase, right? From 240, right, all the way to the psychological $3 level. What stock is this? This is SATS, S-A-T-S, stock number 3. So we have covered, guys, number 1, Wilmar, number 2, DBS, number 3 is SATS, S-A-T-S. This is stock that we're covering right now, Ben, all right? And yeah, I can see that the upside could be all the way up to $3. So I would say that in terms of the price right now, thankfully we have seen a little bit of stability right now because you can see that this moving averages, right? The red line was pointing down, right? Look at this. When we broke this support, this 100 days moving average was just pointing down, down, down. And you can see now this red line, right? The 100 days moving average here, this red line is starting to flatten out. It's starting to move sideways, right? So that's a good thing. All right, that's a good thing. It shows that we are kind of stabilizing. We found some bottom so far near 240. All right, and we are shifting from down to a bit of a sideways movement. So, but sideways from where to where? Well, as I mentioned, from $2.40 to $3, right? So that is the range. So only, right? Only if we were to break that $3 level, great, right? Like what we saw over here. Look at this, right? In 2020, 2021, when we broke the $3 level, you can see that is where we shot up, all right? And we went to a higher phase. So that is what potentially can happen if we were to break that $3. So we might just consolidate, pop, if it breaks that 3 or maybe 320, great. That is potentially where we can move up, or the reversal can continue even higher. All right, so that is SAT services. Take note of this $3. $3 is a psychological level. All right, that's number one. Number two, you can see that this was where we were capped as well in 2020, and maybe even number three. All right, this is also where that 200 days moving average blue line is. So a few factors pointing to this very key $3 as a resistance level. So it says, let's move on to stock number 4, right? Stock number 4 would be this one called SamuderaShipping. Guys, just type a 4, all right, just to make sure that this is still working, all right? Just type a 4 in the chat if you can still hear and see me, all right? That's before we move on to stock number 4, all right? So hopefully, so far it's working fine. Hopefully this doesn't break down. So for those of you who are just joining us, welcome to this Facebook live show called Ask Me Any Stock. So we have covered like a quick run through of the market. We talked about the STI, we talked about 3 stocks already, Wilmar, DBS, and SATS, and now we are going to stock number 4, which will be SamuderaShipping. And we did have some connection issues just now. I think we were like just hanging. For me, it's like a black screen. I didn't know what was happening, all right? But I'm glad that all of you are saying that it's working, and I can see you guys are typing like 44444. So thank you so much for still being here. Now that we have gone through this hiccup just now, guys, would it be okay? Just give me a like and share. I mean, the fact that we've gone through this, just give me a like and share, right? Give me some love, right? Give us some love. Hopefully we spread some positive energy into the system and the whole internet thing, that it doesn't affect us again, right? The like and share button, guys, that would be really helpful, right? Okay, hit the like and share, guys. Okay, good. So thank you so much. Okay, good. 444. Awesome. So thank you, right? Thankfully it's still working. Then let's move on to stock number 4, SamuderaShipping, right? SamuderaShipping. Okay, good. So this is SamuderaShipping, guys. Let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the chat, what is your thoughts on SamuderaShipping before I talk about it. SamuderaShipping right here. One of those stocks that is pretty good uptrend. We have covered it quite a few times. Very strong rally somewhere in like beginning of 2023. And we did see a bit of profit taking, but I think it still looks pretty okay, right? So I'll talk about it in a bit, but let me know what your thoughts on SamuderaShipping very quickly, all right? Up, down, or a bit of sideways for now, or maybe a bit of weakness in the short term. What's your take on it? Okay, so it's a bit of up, all right, up, long-term uptrend. Great, Ellen, you're saying, right, Ellie's uptrend as well. All right, so let me just go to explain to you. So SamuderaShipping is one of those, I would say, firm long-term uptrending stock. Why? I mean, this was actually not just like last month or last week or last year. In fact, since 2021, all right, you can see that we have been forming what we call higher lows, right? Higher lows, higher lows. So as it pushes up, you can see that the lows get higher, right? So that's a sign of strength in the long term. And just by looking at the moving averages, I want you guys to just focus on the red line, the 100 days moving average, the red line, and the blue line. The blue line is the 200 days moving average. Can we safely say that the red line and the blue line, they are both pointing up right now, and the red is above the blue? Yes or no? Type yes if that is correct. The red is still above the blue, like since 2 years back, the red has been above the blue line. Is that correct? Let me know. In terms of the longer term moving average. All right, yes. All right, so yes, so I would say that based on the red and blue line, the longer term uptrend is quite firm, right? As I mentioned, it's not just like last month or what. Since 2 years back, we have been in a pretty strong long-term uptrend, all right? But long-term uptrend doesn't mean you go up every single day and just come pushing up, right? Sometimes in the short term, we can also see some profit taking, and that's what we saw over the past 1 month. All right, so let me just share with you my thoughts. So I would say that for SamuderaShipping, all right, right now, if you ask me, frankly, I would say that the 100 days moving average blue line, all right, I mean the red line 100 days moving average and the blue line 200 days moving average, they're still pointing up, right? And still a pretty strong long-term uptrend. But in the short term, right, we did push up to this level right here, and that would be the 150. That was actually our initial target when it broke the $1 or 120. That was our first target. So we kind of hit it there, and some bearish candle or some profit taking came back. And right now we are seeing some weakness, right? So weakness to where? Weakness in the short term. Why? Because as I say, longer term looks good, but in the short term we can also see some selling. Why? Because look at the 20 days moving average, right? This green line, this 20 days moving average green line. Can you see that this green line, it is actually, is it pointing up or down? Anyone can share me? This green line, is it pointing up or down? The green line. I mean, very simple, guys. You don't have to think so much, right? This green line, is it pointing up or down? Let me know in chat. Awesome, correct. So it's down, right? So very simple. So this green line is what we call the 20 days moving average. Don't think so much, guys. So you can see it's down, right? And when it points down and prices are below it, right? I mean, obviously prices below this line, right? It's not like above it, it's below it, right? Then it's not so good. In the short term, we can actually see some selling. And of course, this 130, right? 130 was actually a little bit of a support. And unfortunately, it seems like we have broken the 130 support level. So I would say that in the short term, I say again, guys, in the short term, right? Long is fine, right? Long is fine, as I say, right? Anything like near the 110, right? That is like the support level. I think that would be a really firm support because it was the resistance. You can see when we broke up, you know, that is a firm support level. About 110, that's also where the longer term moving averages are. But in the short term, right, if we stay below that 130, right, now it's like 128, right, which is below 130, right? So if we stay below 130, all right, then not so good in the short term. We can potentially see maybe a bit of weakness to I mean, I'm not sure exactly where it will go down to. It might just go to like maybe 120, 115, but anything near down here to 120, 115 or 110, that is where some bargain hunting can come back again. In the longer term, we can potentially see a rebound back up again, right? So just think of this level, right? So in the short term, a bit of weakness, a bit of short-term selling can happen below 130, all right? But as it comes down, that is where some good opportunity in terms of a good bargain hunting prices can appear from 110 to 120. So just think of this level whereby that's where for SamuderaShipping it can actually be a good opportunity on dips. All right, so let me just draw in terms of the upside targets right here from maybe 110 all the way to about 130. So if it does dip to that level, great. If you see, I mean, you have to rush, right? Doesn't mean it hits to like 115 or 110, you just go and buy. No, normally what we see is that we're going to see some stability. If it hits there, we see some good bullish reversal candles, some bullish price actions. That is potentially where, all right, we could time our entry to get back in again, whereby we get a little bit more confirmation rather than just rushing because it hits there. Does it make sense? All right. Okay, so that's for SamuderaShipping, stock number 4. Let's move on to stock number 5, which should be OCBC, right? OCBC. All right. So let's move on right now. And this is OCBC, right? So very quickly, all right, let me just go. Wow, I think we have covered this stock. I think I did a video as well on the bank. So that's the reason why we had all these lines here. So let me just go to remove it. So it is like a little bit clearer. All right. And this is OCBC trading at about 12.73, right? 12.73 right over here. So I did a video, right, on the banks I mentioned, right, when this whole financial turmoil happened about 3-4 weeks back. All right. And I mentioned that this level, right, the $12 to maybe $11.90 was a really good support level, and we could see some bargain hunting. And there were some targets that were drawn actually, right? You can take a look at the YouTube video that I did, and we could potentially rebound all the way up to like maybe about 12.50. And of course, if 12.50 breaks, great. Upside could be revised, and we might see a reversal all the way back to that 13.20, right? 13.20. So it seems like right now it's quite good because we have broke above this level, the 12.50. So 12.50, as I drawn just now, you can see a couple of touches, right? Look at this, a couple of touches. And right here over the past week, we crossed above, right? We broke above the 12.50. Now it's 12.73 cents. All right, so that's a good thing, right? Anything above 12.50, we could potentially see the reversal back all the way to around 13 to 13.20. So this is OCBC. For those of you who have got in on dips when this whole banking crisis or financial turmoil started, great. I think you are pretty much sitting on profits. All right, great. They took the risk to get it. All right, and in fact, we actually not only headed to that support that I talked about, we actually saw a couple of bullish reversal candles right here. So this is a pretty good bullish reversal candle, something like a doji, right at the $12 level. So that's a good sign, right over here. That's a pretty good sign of the reversal. And you can see next few days we consolidated and we eventually push higher. All right, so not too bad for OCBC. Range 12.50 all the way up to like $13.20. Sorry, $13.20. That would be for OCBC. All right, let's move on to the stock number 6, which would be ISDN, right? Okay, so for those of you who are still here and you are still joining us right now, all right, welcome to this Facebook live show called Ask Me Any Stock. So we have pretty much just covered like 5 stocks already: Wilmar, DBS, SETS, SamuderaShipping, OCBC number 5, and number 6 we're looking at ISDN right now. So if you're joining us, great. All right, and we'll see if we have more time later to cover more stocks, but make sure you stay all the way to the end because that's where I'll share with you one stock that I like at the end as well. So thankfully right now we had some connection issues, but it seems like this is working. All right, and you guys are still following me, so I'm happy about that. Let's just move on. Okay, so this is ISDN. All right, let's take a look at it. Okay, so I would say that for ISDN, right, since last year, right, this ISDN is one of those like tech stocks, right, a little bit of a tech stock, a bit of semiconductor as well, and it was a bit of what we call a downtrend, right, just by looking at the moving averages. You can see that the 100 days moving average, the blue line, red line, they're both pointing down. It broke certain support like the 55 cents. You can see sold off, broke down that 45 cents, we sold off again, right, but somewhere around the beginning of 2023, right? That's where we started to see strength coming back in the technology sector in the US as well as in the Singapore market. Because why? Because there were some talks about potentially not just about rate hikes, but maybe by end of the year there are talks about rate cuts. All right, and rate cuts is a good thing for the tech stocks because the main reason why they sold off heavy last year because of rate hikes, right, due to inflation and all that. But now whenever there is shift in terms of the Federal Reserve policy or Fed funds rates kind of like potentially tapering or rate cuts, that's where the tech stocks all started to run up, right? And ISDN is one of those that rode on that as well. As you can see that we broke this support level at that 45 cents. So that was the range, right? 45 cents, we attempted to break. When we broke 45, went all the way up to about 60 cents. You can see just 2 weeks back, we tested that 45 cents level again. So this 45 cents level would be a pretty strong support for now. I think we want to see like a clear reversal back up. This 45 cents for ISDN has to hold, right? It has to hold. So you can see that the range is about 45 to that psychological 50 cents. And in fact, you can see that we are actually attempting to break that 50 cents. But so far over the past few days, I think the market is not that strong. We actually attempted, we stayed above like 5.1, 5.15, but sellers are still kind of like pushing it down. So we need a bit more confirmation. But if we can hold above that, 50 cents over the next few days or next 1 or 2 weeks, that would be a good thing. All right, that's where the consolidation could be higher, right, by another 5 cents. That means we would have turned from this consolidation to a higher consolidation from that 50 cents to 55, right? And of course, if 55 cents were to break, great, we might potentially push back to that previous high of 60 cents right over here. This was where we saw really, really firm resistance level. Does it make sense? All right, so that would be for ISDN. Just take note of the level, right? The 50 cents level, which we are still trying to stay above, has to hold, right? Hopefully we stay above that level. That would be great. That's where the reversal to the upside, to the upwards direction can continue a little bit more firmly. All right, so that's number 6, ISDN. So let's move to stock number 7, guys, and that will be Keppel Corp. So we have like more than 200 of you on board from what I see, on YouTube and on Facebook. So, all right, so just type 7, guys. Type 7 if you are still following me. All right, in case we broke down again, or the connection is not here again. Right, just type 7 before we move on to stock number 7, and that will be Keppel Corp. Right, and if you have more time, guys, I want to just cover maybe another 10-20 more minutes. All right, and make sure you stay all the way to the end, guys. As I mentioned, there'll be one stock I'll share with you. All right, and I'll share with you in a bit. All right, once we cover the stocks that you guys are asking about. All right. All right, awesome. So I see a lot of 7. All right, Andy 7, Bunsan 7, Doris, Fam, David 7, Jenny. Good to see you. Hi, Mary. So thank you guys for still being here despite the technical glitch just now. Serene, hi, Edwin, Alice, Maria. Okay, 7, Dorothy. Hi, awesome. Okay, good. Let's move on to stock number 7, and that would be Keppel Corp. So guys, help me to like and share, right? That would be really helpful, all right? So we can reach out to a little bit more people, all right? So that would be Keppel Corp, right? Keppel Corp over here. Let's take a look at it right now and see where we are. Okay, so this is Keppel Corp. I would say that for Keppel Corp, it is, since like last year, right? Since last year, whereby we had this like, Sembcorp Marine and Keppel Corp kind of a demerger, and that was a good thing, right? That was a good thing for Keppel Corp. You can see that we started to push higher, we consolidated slightly higher, and then we attempted to actually push higher, right? And over the past 1 month, we broke this level, right? And that level will be key, right? This level is none other than the $5, right? The $5 psychological resistance level. Look at this right here. So you can see, based on this right here, you can see that this $5 we kind of like tested about 1, 2, 3, and we just couldn't get above the $5. So $5 was pretty strong psychological resistance level. And the thing here is that what pattern is this, guys? Let me know, guys, what pattern is this for those of you who are experts right here in terms of chart pattern. When you look at like inverse head and shoulder pattern just now, but any of you can tell me what pattern is this right here, just like in February for Keppel Corp, right? For Keppel Corp, just by looking at this thing, does it look like anything? Does it look like an ascending? Anybody can share with me what is it? What is that pattern whereby you could tell from Keppel Corp? Ascending what? Anybody? All right, I think some of you are getting it right? Triangle breakout, well, great. All right, ascending triangle, great. Ellen, correct. All right, ascending triangle. Alice, ascending triangle. Yes, the answer is correct. So what is an ascending triangle pattern? So let me just go to just sidetrack a little bit. All right, teach you guys, right? So ascending triangle pattern would be something like this, right? So you can see a stock come in an uptrend, and we kind of like push up. And we touch this very firm resistance level, and it just couldn't get above. It comes back down, and we push up again, and we hit to that same level, and it comes back down again, and we hit back again, and we come back down again. And this is what we call an ascending triangle pattern. And finally, right, we can see that an ascending triangle pattern would be one whereby as it comes back down, you can see each time we come back down, right? The low, right? The low is actually higher than that previous low. Does it make sense? All right, let me just explain to you again. So this low that we have seen here, it is higher than the previous low. Same thing, the low is higher, the low is higher, the low is higher. All right. So as it moves forward, right, the low becomes higher. So that's a good uptrend. But as I say, right, that main resistance level, we still couldn't get past that main resistance level. And that would be like $5 for Keppel Corp. All right, so this is what we call an ascending triangle pattern. So eventually we see this pattern and we get a confirmation whereby we break this level, that key resistance whereby, for like 3 months, 5 months, 1 year, whatever, we cannot get above it. And finally, we break it and we see what we call higher lows or an ascending triangle pattern. Great, all right? That is where the upside momentum can potentially continue to the next higher phase. Are you guys following so far? All right, so that's an ascending triangle pattern. So let me just go back to the Keppel Corp. You can see that we have seen what we call an ascending triangle pattern, right? With higher low. Of course, it doesn't look as nice as what I draw, right? Or that's how the market works. It will not be like so beautiful like the diagram, all right? But essentially, you can see that there was this firm resistance at $5. We touched, we came down. But as we came down, right, buyers started to come back up, and the low was higher than the previous low. All right, you guys following? All right, and eventually, right here, we broke the $5. So that is a good sign. That's where some upside targets were drawn. All right, all the way to maybe about 580. All right, and the range would be about $5 to 580. Pretty volatile. I mean, that was when we had the news in terms of Keppel Corp and Sembcorp Marine, the free shares here and there. I think there was some ratio. All right, so if you're holding on to like, I'm not too sure what's the number. All right, that was like a few weeks back. But if you're holding on to Keppel Corp, I think you get some Sembcorp Marine shares or something like that, right? Or the other way around. All right. But anyway, from the chart right here, you can see that the resistance was at 580, right? Why? Because that was the high. That was the high right over here in just February, right? In about end of February, that was the high. And you can see that past few days, we are actually attempting to break the high of 580. Does it make sense? Right? Attempting to break the high of $5.80. So that could be a good thing. That could be a good thing in terms of prices now, staying at 580 and above. Now it's like 586. So it's only like 2 days, guys, of course, right? But I think right now, if we can stay above this 580, let me just turn this line to green in color, because this 580, as I mentioned, would be what we call a new support level, right? So the 580 was the resistance, as I mentioned, right, based on the high. So if we can stay above that 580, great. The range could be from $5.80 to $6, right? So something like a 20 cents range. But if $6 gives way, then targets can be revised all the way to maybe about that $6.50, right? Pretty much back to where we were. You can see that was in 2014, 2015. That was where we had all the support level right here, and we broke down, right? So that would be the support turn resistance level right now, right? So that is the range, right? Anything above that 580, great. I think Keppel Corp could still offer more upside. The uptrend is still intact. I know 580 to $6. $6 gives way. Upside targets to $6.50. Okay, so that's for Keppel Corp. All right, so let's move on to stock number 8. Guys, type 8 in the chat if you want to stock number 8, and that would be Sembcorp Marine, right? Type 8 in the chat. Okay, good. So I can see your comments, guys. Okay, good. 8. Adam, 8. All right, so let's move on to stock number 8, which would be what we call Sembcorp Marine, right? So Sembcorp Marine. I'm just going to draw this very strong support. I think that would definitely be a support level right here, right? So let's take a look at Sembcorp Marine. Okay, so you can see that Sembcorp Marine was one of those pretty strong recovery stocks since last year, June, August, right? You can see that we were actually consolidating. All right, let me just show you right here. You can see there was where there was a bit of a consolidation here, right? From April to October last year, from 10 cents to about 12 cents. Look at this, up, swing down, up, swing down, swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down, swing up. So that was the kind of like a 10 cents to 12 cents consolidation, about a 2 cent range, right? And somewhere in October, you can see when we broke the 12 cents, that's what we call a breakout. When we broke the 12 cents, great. We actually traded up, all right, all the way to that 15 cents. So a really good move up, right? Especially it was an uptrend as we broke up. That's a good move up. And we started consolidating right here from that 13 cents, all right, 13 to 15 cents, right? 13 to 15 cents. So that was kind of like the consolidation range, right? But unfortunately, right, this 13 cents actually gave way. Look at this, right? Quite a firm breakdown right here. We broke that 13 cents, and that is the reason why we saw selling from 13 all the way back to that 10 cents level, right? Back to 10 cents level, right? So you can see why 10 cents, as I mentioned, right? 10 cents would be a really critical support level because we were trading there since May last year. So I think if you kind of like approach near 10 cents, that would be a really good entry. You can see a couple of bargain hunting, and we went up, went down, and rebounded from it. So that's a good sign of strength, right? But where could we potentially head to now? So over the past 1 to 2 weeks, it seems like we are actually same thing like what we saw in October last year, right? Like October last year, as I mentioned, right? The range was like 10 to 12 cents, and it was like 5 months. Now it is only like 1 month, all right, 1 month, but the range is 10 to 12 cents, right? And we are actually attempting to break that 12 cents. So it's only like 1 week that we're above 12 cents. I'm not too sure whether we can hold, but actually I would prefer, that we would actually consolidate like from 10 to 12, like what I say over here, and then we break. That would be a much better reversal like what we saw here last year, all right? But right now you can see that we staged quite a good rebound, and we are actually attempting to break 12 cents. So good thing, right? It's a good thing, but we just need a bit more confirmation. Hopefully we stay above 12. Upside could be back to that 13 cents, right? 13 cents, which is where the support was previously. As I mentioned, the 13 cents was where we broke down, right? So 12 to 13 cents. Now it's like just closing at 12 cents. So that is the range. It's like a kind of like a 12 to 13 cents range, like a 1 cent range. All right, and if 13 cents were to kind of like give way as well, great. We could head back towards the recent high of 15 cents, 0.150. All right, so that would be for Sembcorp Marine. That would be stock number 8, right? Stock number 8. So let me just go ahead to look at one more stock, right? Let me look at one more stock. Let's take a look at the poll again. All right, let's see. Okay, so let me just go to show the poll again. So those of you who have joined us just now, I mean, basically, we have done a poll just now. More than 60 of you have taken part in the poll, all right? And essentially, we have covered 8 stocks already, guys. Let me just, for those of you who are just following us, all right, basically, we covered 8 stocks, and those are stocks that you guys were asking on right over here. We covered Wilmar, DBS, SET, SamuderaShipping, OCBC, number 6, ISDN, number 7, Keppel Corp, number 8, Sembcorp Marine, right? Sembcorp Marine. So let's take like one more stock, right? One more stock that you guys were asking about, and let's see, right? Let's see. Sembcorp Industry. I think Sembcorp Industry. Let me just write it down. Okay, Sembcorp Industry. Pretty popular one. Sembcorp Industry. Let me just shift this back up. This is a stock that I like as well. Sembcorp Industry. Before maybe I'll go on to share with you that one stock that I like, right? So Sembcorp Industry, right? So let me know, guys, what are your thoughts on Sembcorp Industry, right? How many of you actually received like my WhatsApp? And how many of you are actually clients of mine in Philip Securities, guys? Just type yes if you are one of those who are actually a client of mine in Philip Securities. Type yes in the chat so that I know how many of you are clients. So acknowledge all of you over here. Let me know. Just type yes if you are a client of mine in Philip Securities. All right, yes, so we have quite a few clients. Hi, Roger, Dave. Yes, I've definitely spoken to some of you before. Norman, Ryan, there's a lot of clients here. Okay, great. All right, so if you're a client of mine in Philip Securities, I believe you should actually be in our WhatsApp broadcast, whereby we do share some of those ideas daily. And I'm sure some of you actually received this idea on Sembcorp Industry, not like last week or what. I mean, in fact, a few months back, we have been covering this stock, right? So Sembcorp Industry is definitely one of those stock that we like, and it's in a very firm uptrend. Something like SamuderaShipping, but of course in the short term we can also see some selling in the short term. All right, so guys, by the way, I think some of you are like private messaging me, like, how do you get these ideas faster, or like the WhatsApp which I talk about. Let me just go ahead to share the link. I mean, for those of you who are not yet a client of mine in Philip Securities, let me just go ahead to share the link in case you are not too sure. Right, so that is the link again, right, to find out a little bit more. All right, let me just place the link in the chat again. All right, just click on the link to find a bit more and apply to become a client of mine in Philip Securities, right, whereby you do get some of my ideas much faster, some of those videos faster as well, especially if you're like trading online on your own, the platform, you have no broker, no ideas, no WhatsApp, no training, nothing from your broker. Make sure you click on the link, right, to come on board as a client of mine in Philip Securities so that you at least enjoy some service. And the key here is that you don't pay anything more, right? It's exactly the same SAME, same as whatever you are paying when you're trading. Does it make sense, guys? So make sure you come on board as a client if you are getting like zero or almost non-existent service, which is what pretty much most people, 90% of people are getting in the industry. All right, make sure you come on board, right? So that's the link right there. Click on it. For those of you who are already a client of mine, awesome, thank you. So Jesse, Maria, I think all of you are clients of mine. Lynette, I just want to thank your team for the great service. Thanks, Lynette, awesome. All right, hi Jimmy, Iris, also quite a few of you are clients here. Yeah. So if you're not yet a client, click on the link, all right, so you can get some of those ideas much faster. But let's just go into cover what we call Sembcorp Industry, right? Sembcorp Industry, right? So this is Sembcorp Industry, as I mentioned, one of those stocks that I like. And in fact, when we broke, let me just show it for you, right? So when we broke this, like, $3.50, this was a really critical resistance level, and right over here, like somewhere around like January or mid of Jan. And awesome, I'm applying to be a client, looking forward. Thanks, Alice. Awesome. Okay, good. So yeah, make sure if you're not a client, guys, if you want to get some of those ideas faster, in fact, some of those stocks, guys, that we talk about, we have actually shared it with clients. All right, so if you're not yet one, you probably would not receive it, and make sure you come on board to get some of these ideas by WhatsApp faster. All right. Okay, so Sembcorp Industry, that $3.50. was a really key resistance level, right? Since last year, right? Somewhere in September, we went down, all right? And it was what we call an uptrending stock. Same thing like what I mentioned just now. A little bit of an ascending triangle pattern that I talked about, all right? But the resistance was 350, right? And when we broke that 350, all right, and of course, clients were alerted to it as well, all right? And we started to push higher, all right? We consolidated, we push higher. Eventually, we broke the $4. Targets were revised higher, all the way up to about the 450. So it seems like we are kind of like heading towards our target. I think the past 1 week, the high was at 443 or 440 something, right? So anything near 450, right? Whether is it 445 or 443 or 447, near 450 is normal to see some profit taking. So I think it's good to lock in some profit. It's fine because, as I say, we have gone from 350 to like what 450 in this like about 2 months, like more than 25% upside. And for those of you who have rode it, I think it's great to lock in some profits. Nothing wrong with just putting some money in your pocket, right? But the thing here is that, can we still see more upside? I mean, is it like over? Should we sell and forget about it and go for other stocks? And like this stock will come down and what? Is that what will happen, right? My take is that I feel that now we can still see some profit taking because we have risen by quite a bit, but it is healthy to also see some consolidation, right, at a higher phase. So right now, I would say that we can potentially see some support at $4. In fact, I think the support may have been raised from $4. So $4 is the psychological support, as I mentioned. We broke that. But over the past week, it seems like the $4, it didn't really go down to near $4. In fact, I think near 420. Let me just shift this up here. Why? Because you can see, right, over the past 2 weeks, 420, and also where the 20 days moving average line is right over here around 420. So in fact, I think 420, right? Yeah, 420 would be what we call a near-term support level all the way to about that 450. So we might see some consolidation here, which I say is healthy. In fact, I don't want it to break the I don't want it to break the 450, right, so fast. It's better if it consolidate here for a couple of weeks, all right, maybe 1-2 months, as we consolidate, and then we start to break the 450, and that's where upside targets can be revised again. Right? After breaking 550, that's where potentially we may see a new high, right? A new high all the way to like $5, right? But it's good to see some consolidation first. Are you guys following so far? Does it make sense? All right, so that is for Sembcorp industry. All right, so in fact, I think we actually had a bullish. I think for those of you asking about Sembcorp industry, let me just share with you this right here. This is what we call the system that I have. I'm not talking too much about this system, guys, but this is what we call the 1GT system, one good trend, whereby, of course, we have a whole entire strategy behind it. Of course, we have backtested it based on the very specific set of criteria. And you can simply type the name of any stocks inside and get like bullish or maybe even bearish signal. So this is Sembcorp industry, or you can see that, since like last year, November, we got this green arrow up. It's a bullish signal, went up, got an exit. Another bullish signal went up. This was in like January. So January was one pretty good move right here. You can see got this bullish signal, went all the way up from like 340 to 380, got exit. And this was the most recent one in 6th of March, a bullish signal, right? So to push up from like what, 370 all the way to like 430. And today, right, it seems like we got this exit, right? So this is like a right arrow down. All right, it's an exit. Exit doesn't mean like, oh, it's bad or what. It just means that, well, it's good to, lock in some profit because, I mean, look at the gains, right? From like 370 to 440. I think you don't want to be greedy. You can also lock in some partial profits, right? Because as I mentioned, that's where some selling or profit taking is actually happening, right? So we got an exit, right? But we might just consolidate again. As I mentioned, we might just consolidate again from like 420 to 450 for next 1 week, 2 weeks or something. And after that, all right, that is where, if we do see like a new bullish entry signal like what we saw over here again, well, that could lead that new higher phase up again. All right, so that is pretty much for Sembcorp industry, right? That is stock number 9. Stock number 9. All right, okay, good. So guys, let me know how many of you are still here. How many of you want me to review that one stock that I like? So for those of you who stay all the way to the end, I mentioned that, if you stay all the way to the end, I'll review to you one stock that I like as well, that you could potentially put in your watch list, right? So just type a 10 in the chat, right? If you want me to review that one stock that I like that you can potentially put in your watch list for maybe next week or next week or something, right? Type 10 in the chat, right? Keep asking about the stock that I like. Awesome. Just hang in a second. right? So I think some of you are like private messaging me. By the way, guys, if you want to find out a little bit more on this system, like the 1GT system and all that, you can attend one of those webinars, right? Make sure you're on my email list, or if you're not yet on my email list, guys, you can go ahead to just download this free report. Make sure you're on my email list or something like that. I'll just paste the link in the chat, guys. So click on the link, all right, and that's where you can download this free report to know a little bit more on the strategy, what we call the one good trend strategy, all right? And we share a little bit more on the strategy. I don't have time to, guys, talk about the strategy, guys. We don't have time now. It's just like to dive into the stocks that you want a quick opinion on. All right, and that's what I've done. All right, so you're gonna find a bit more on the strategy or this whole entire system, how we use it, how it guides us. Attend one of those free webinars. But first thing first, download my free report, be in my email list, get some value first, and then in the future, when there are any webinars or live webinar or something on Zoom or something like that, we will let you know, and you can attend to find out more. All right, okay, good. So let me just shift this back here again. And let's see. So this is Sembcorp Industry stock number 9. All right. So before we go and talk about the one bonus stock that finally I would like to share with you guys, let me just do a quick recap of all the stocks that were covered today. All right. Number 1, Wilmar, DBS, SETS, SamuderaShipping. Number 5, OCBC. Number 6, ISDN. 7, Keppel Corp. Number 8, Sembcorp Marine. Number 9, finally, Sembcorp Industry. All right. Okay. So what is that stock I would like to share with you that you can potentially put in your watch list, right? So let me just share with you this stock called, look at this right here. So I think this stock that some of you might know as well, called Propnex, right? Propnex. I think Propnex is one of those stocks that are not too bad, right? We have covered it as well, right? And let me share with you one thing over here, okay? So before I talk about this, anybody can share with me, I mean, based on what we covered just now, we covered like a few patterns, right? Any of you can share with me, what is that pattern that you could potentially spot right over here for Propnex? Let me just draw it for you. 1, 2, 3. What is this pattern? I think we have talked about it, right, guys? What is that pattern that potentially we can spot for Propnex? Let me know in the chat, guys, what is that pattern? Let me know. For those of you who have followed through, pretty much we have covered like a few patterns, right? I mean, we talk about trend and all that, but patterns is one of them that we talk about as well. So let me know. Okay, I think all of you are experts already, right? Head and shoulder, all right. Inverse, okay, H&S, right? Awesome. So Victor, inverse head and shoulder, correct, Alice. Okay, very good. So I think all of you are following. That's great. So this is what we call an inverse head and shoulder. So the left shoulder is right over here, around the $1.50 support. Right shoulder also somewhere around the 150 cents, right? And you can see that this is clearly the head, right? The head is like $1.25, which is pretty much the bottom we went to in October, and we staged a really good rebound, right? So in terms of an inverse head and shoulder pattern, it's good if you can get a confirmation and it breaks above what we call that resistance level. So that resistance level is also known as the neckline, all right? The neckline resistance, or whatever you want to call it, basically it's a price level whereby many times it touches, it comes back down, and if you just couldn't get past that level, the neckline. And what would be that neckline? Well, the neckline would be none other than the $1.75. Look at this right here, right? See, we touch, we came down, we neared it, we came down, and finally somewhere around like end of February, all right, end of February, right over here, finally, right, we broke above this neckline resistance level. And that's where I think I sent out a note as well, all right, and that's where potentially the reversal can start to happen a little bit more positively, right, in terms of, a bit more firmer towards the upwards direction, especially, right, if we stay above that 170 or 175. So yeah, up to now you can see that we are still above that 170 to 175, and targets actually has been drawn, right, from 170, 175 all the way up to that psychological $2. Why $2? Look at this, right, guys? $2 was this really firm resistance level. All right, that was in like 2021, about 2 years back, somewhere around, 2 years back here. We touched and came back down. You can see that we are approaching that $2 level, right? So yeah, I mean, that's where we are seeing some selling. But the point I want to share with you guys is that because of this inverse head and shoulder pattern, look at this right here. All right, there are definitely some signs of the trend reversing upwards. Right, the next thing is that the moving averages. Look at this right here, the 100 days moving average. Right, have finally crossed back above the blue line, the 200 days moving average. So that's a sign of strength as well in terms of the uptrend starting to form up or turning from a downtrend. So it was a bit of a downtrend last year, in fact, right? It was just going lower and lower, finding new lows. But right now, there are signs of the trend turning up already, right? Turning up again, right? Already as we saw this break of the neckline resistance level. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? So right now, I would say that we might be seeing a bit of profiting near $2, but just take a look, guys. If we break that $2, so it might take a while, or I may just consolidate, maybe like push that down a bit to 180 or something, might just consolidate. But if it breaks that $2 level, like right over here, if we do like break it, great. Then that's where upside targets can be revised all the way back to that high that you've seen previously, and that would be around that $2.20 level, pretty much the high we've seen in July 2021. All right, so that would be for Propnex, and if that happens, great. I think the uptrend will really firm up more firmly. All right, so that is Propnex, pretty much the stock I share with you that you can put in your watch list, right, for potentially more upside, especially if the uptrend were to continue, especially if you break $2 eventually. I think that is one stock that you want to watch. Okay, good. So I think we've pretty much come to the end of this Facebook live show, guys. So how many of you have found some value so far? All right, you have found some value, guys. Just type value in the chat. Type value in the chat if you have like found some value, right? Or maybe I've just covered the stocks that you guys were asking about. Type value in the chat. Let me know, all right? Okay, so we have gone on like for more than 1.5 hours already, all right? So value, awesome. Thank you so much. So my apologies again, guys, for what happened just now in terms of the connection issues, right? Sometimes things like this do happen. So I'm glad that, we are still connected. And thank you so much for still being here. Super value, Roger, awesome. Norman, Aaron, value, Aloysius, good to see you here. Rachel, value. Awesome. Thank you guys for being here, right? So great. All right, great. So I think we have come to the end of this session already. I'll not take up too much of your time. All right, and have a good long weekend. All right, have a good long weekend. And as I mentioned, guys, for those of you who are not yet a client of mine in Philips Securities, as I mentioned, some of those stocks, even like for Propnex as well, some of those stocks that we covered today, actually clients of mine in Philips Securities do get alerted by WhatsApp. All right, so if you are not yet receiving any of those ideas by WhatsApp, you might want to come aboard as a client of mine, especially if your broker, like a real person, all right, is not doing anything, or you're not getting any service, no ideas, no training, no WhatsApp, no updates, nothing, all right, then you pretty much want to come aboard as a client because you don't pay anything more. It's exactly the same as whatever you're paying, wherever you're trading. So it makes no difference. I think a lot of people don't really know that, but you want to check it out, click on the link. All right, I'll just place the link in the chat again. All right, and I look forward to for my team and I to work with you, and that's where you get some of our ideas and trading as a client in Philips Securities. So that's the link, right? So thank you so much, guys. All right, I'll call it a day. Have a great long weekend. Thank you so much for being here today, and I appreciate your time. And I hope that you have taken away something or learned something in this Facebook Live session. And hopefully the next time we will not have any connection issues, right? We will not have any connection issues. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. All right, have a good long weekend. I'll see you guys. Take care and bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you. Bye.